start, and then I'm like still like this. Hello, everybody. It is Monday. Welcome to BMSTE Radio Show. We are excited to be here today. We have some great shows lined up for you for this month. Before we go on our break, everybody knows that we do a break at the end of May. We won't be back until June, but we want to make sure that you guys have some good things going on. So tonight we're going to be talking about motivating and how to get yourself ready to start working out and challenges that people have in order to start to do that. We have next week, we have a therapist who will be coming on. And can you mute your phone, Shavonne? We're going to talk about this pandemic and how it's affecting us mentally. And then the following week, we're going to have someone on because everybody doesn't want to be an entrepreneur. There are some individuals who still want to climb the corporate ladder. So we're going to talk about resume writing, what goes on a resume, what doesn't go on a resume, and that sort of thing. So I think that'll be a good thing. Even though I do some entrepreneurship, I do still have, want to make sure that my resume and everything is up to date. So, and I really don't know what it's supposed to look like at this point. So I'm actually looking forward to that show. But tonight we want to, if you want to be a guest or if you have something that you'd like to talk about and you're looking for a platform to do that, please hit us up at bmsteradioshow.com. You can email us at bmstereradio@bmste.com. If you'd like to be a guest or if there's something you want to talk about, again, we have dedicated this year to women and helping women progress and move forward in whatever the endeavors that they want to do. And if you'd like to be a sponsor, you can also hit us up on those same platforms. You can follow BMSTE Radio Show on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at BMSTE Radio Show. Twitter, follow it at your own risk. Every now and then I'll post something there. Twitter is my enemy. We don't get along that well. And we'd like to thank our sponsors, Peaceful Soul Collection. Please go check them out at peacefulsoulcollection.com. Savvy Events, they have a fashion show that she's still plugging away on. So go follow her. She has a lot of things going on, actually. So I would encourage you to follow her. She also has launched her own radio show as well. So we're going to have her back to talk about that. We have Branded and Beyond. They've been doing all of our social media posts and our marketing for the show. We're definitely grateful for them. We have For the People to Be Fit, who we will be talking to this evening. We'd like to thank them for their sponsorship. And so at that, we want to go ahead and get into this topic tonight. So For the People to Be Fit is owned and operated by Shavonne Bowman. And I'm going to not summarize or take her shine, but I want to kind of clear the air a little bit before we jump into this conversation. So last night we were kind of chit-chatting about today, and she kind of informed me on the things that she was going to ask me. And I politely informed her that, this is kind of my show and I host. So therefore I would be the one asking the questions. But she did want to challenge me on why is it that I can't stay motivated to work out? Why is it that I can't get motivated to be consistent? And even though last night I didn't want to hear it or I didn't want to talk about it, I did think about some responses to those questions. And hopefully some of my responses will resonate with you. And maybe together we can kind of talk through some ways that we can get motivated to get a little healthy. So I'm going to let Tiara, and my name is Benita Spinner, and you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Benita Spinner at CEO.com. And Tiara, tell them about yourself and how they can follow you.
Hey everybody, it's Tiara J. So I can be followed on Facebook at Tiara Johnson, Instagram at IM_Tiara J, Twitter at the Tiara J brand, and for bookings, partnerships, and my services, You can email me at partnerwithtierj@gmail.com.
All right. And Shavonne Bowman.
Hello, my name is Shavonne Bowman, and you can follow me on IG as well as Facebook at For the People to Be Fit. That is the number four, the people, the number two, the initial B, fit. And I'm excited to be on the show today to speak to you all. So I'm hoping to get a few more followers and to tell you what For the People to Be Fit is all about.
Okay. So, Tiara, just to keep you abreast on what's going on with For the People to Be Fit. So, what
Mhm.
Shavonne does is she does a lot of Zoom workouts. And the workouts, I will say, from my level, are extremely intense. Um, but they're good. You kind of feel good after the workout. You feel accomplished. Then she posts it online so that everybody in the world can see you gas out during the workouts.
Okay.
They're fun. They're encouraging. She also has a group me that she posts things that she's doing. Her family is extremely active with working out. Um, and she posts her cooking different foods to kind of get us thinking about things that we could do to get encouraged to eat right. So
Okay.
when she initially started for the people to be fit, it started back in October where we did this 30-day challenge. I think it was 30 days. And every week she would give us different foods we could eat, different exercises. We had to work out with a trainer once a week. We worked out with her once a week. And then we had a companion that was in her group that we worked out with once a week, as well as you had to independently work out. So I think we worked out 4 times a week and we had absolutely no starch. I think for the whole month, we really didn't need any starch. When I initially started that, I lost probably about 8 or 9 pounds. I was feeling really good. My clothes were fitting a little different. But after the challenge, I completely fell off. So at this point, I'm right back to my starting weight before we even start, when we initially started the workout challenge, just to get you caught up to speed. So with that being said, Shavonne consistently calls, emails, come to the Zooms, come to this, stop eating, and that sort of thing. So very motivating, but also it's very challenging for me to hear those things. And I'll be honest. So that's where we are. And I don't know if you have any challenges as far as working out and getting motivated, but I'm going to let Shavonne kind of talk about why she started the For the People to Be Fit.
Yes, I'm excited to hear about this.
Well, thank you for my brief introduction, Benita. So let me just put a disclaimer out there first to all the viewers. I am not a trainer, and nor am I a nutritionist, if I can get my words together. However, I'm just someone who believes in a community of fitness, and the purpose of me starting For the People to Be Fit was because of my family members and close friends. That was my mother, my father, my neighbor, my sister Benita, my sister Brittany, my daughter Kamora, all of which have different elements and different issues that are going on as far as their health is concerned. So I said, what other way for me to inspire people than to start working out with the people that I care most about? So that's what started For the People to Be Fit. It was them, because I don't want them nowadays. I don't want them to have issues with health issues as well as corona issues. So we have to try to get something in line. So that was my whole purpose back then before corona. My whole purpose was to get their health issues under control and to be there by their side so they can have somebody there with them working out. So Benita mentioned earlier about me doing Zoom. I didn't. I'm not, again, a trainer. Okay, I just enjoy doing it, and I enjoy motivating people and getting people to move. So my whole thing is that if we get started together and you like everything, then I want you to be encouraged to go to a trainer or to either encourage somebody else to come along so everybody can get the movement going. And that's the movement for everybody to be healthy and to keep it as a life journey. So when she indicated that I do Zoom classes now because of quarantine. But when quarantine is over, Shavonne back in the gym. Okay. So I just want that to be known to everybody. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, I keep the same ID code. My ID code for Zoom, you just click on Zoom and you can type in 752-712-5786. I'll say it again, 752-712-5786. Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. I'm trying to be as consistent as I possibly can because I don't want anyone to get discouraged because I don't come on or because we don't do it. Even if it's one person on there, we zooming it and we're going to get it in and we're going to grind and we're going to burn together. So that's just a little insight about where For the People to Be Fit came from. And from that, it just grew. For me, it's just something that I enjoy doing. So motivating people. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm in my house and it's kind of hot in here. I don't know what's going on. But for me, as far as For the People to Be Fit, uh, getting motivated and getting people encouraged is something that I truly desire. I have it in my heart to see people live a better life. And I want to be by a person's side when they have that serious transformation. Like I can see it. I can see it clear as day. If they just want to be more consistent and be dedicated. Like I want it so much for them that sometimes I think that a lot of especially my family and my friends, don't want it as bad as I want it for them. But it doesn't discourage me to keep calling them. But what I won't do is overwhelm them by keep pushing them so that I'll push them away. That's what I won't do. So I'd rather for them to come to me or to reach out to me so that I can see that they at least want to start. They take the initiative to go forward because that's where it starts from. It starts from you taking the initiative to want to do better for yourself, not anybody pushing you. But at the same time, once you take that step, you have somebody there to encourage you. So that's the whole premise for it.
So I do believe that there are different people to get people to different levels. So for me, I think my goal, my I guess you would say my purpose and my mission would be to get people to realize that they have a voice and to free themselves of whatever emotional baggage there is. But it's not my journey to help them through it. It's for me to give them the voice and to help them realize that they can escape it if they want to. And I believe that Shavonne's journey is to, and her mission is to get people out there and wanting to do it. One thing, I've been talking about therapy for the last few weeks, but one of the things that I talk about therapy, Shavonne, mute. Yeah,
Sorry.
it's okay. So one of the things that I've learned in therapy that my emotional is directly connected to my physical, and that I am just as addicted to sugar as people are addicted to heroin. So I'm no different from a heroin addict from my sugar. I didn't realize that my body was so codependent on sugar until maybe, what was it, a couple years ago, where I called myself completely cutting sugar out and I thought I was going to die. I was sick as a dog because I didn't realize how your body can get addicted to sugar. And on my journey to get myself emotionally stable, it has opened up a lot of Pandora's boxes for me that I rely on the sugar to get through things emotionally. And I know that for Shavonne, it is imperative and it is important for me to get healthy. And it is important for me too. But I do tend to get discouraged and unmotivated once I stop. It is very challenging to get back into the groove of it. Once I get off the horse, it's like I'm done. And then it takes me about 6-7 months before I can get back on the journey. I don't know, Tiara, do you struggle are you comfortable? Are you struggling with your weight, or are you trying to do better? Where are you at with it?
All the time. I think since after I had Jatara, I have been struggling with losing weight. When I had her, I breastfed. And once I breastfed, the weight was coming off, like it was dropping drastically. I was like, okay, I like this. Then I started doing in-home workouts on demand on Comcast. They have in-home workouts, and I would do that maybe 3 or 4 times a week. And the weight would come off, and I had no problems at first. And then once I got comfortable and down to a size I loved, I had stopped working out. Period. I got comfortable. I was like, I'm back at my cute body, what I desired. So I was like, I'm gonna stop. And then I started eating again, and doing whatever I wanted, and stopped working out. And I started back eating those same refined sugars, and the weight just packed on. And for me, I think what happened. So I'm a C-section mommy, so with that, my stomach started to overlap, and it was just like, oh my gosh, I have a kangaroo pouch again. So I have struggled with that for years, but I am continually looking for new ways to do things, and just knowing that it's me. I have to get back into the rhythm of constantly working out. And I have the great thing about the journey for me is I have cut out beef, pork, and beef, pork. I don't eat any of those things anymore, and I finally gave up bacon. Bacon was so hard for me to give up because I love bacon. So once I gave that up, I was like, oh yeah, I can do this. So I no longer eat beef or pork. I only eat seafood, and I eat poultry. I do eat chicken when I can, when I desire it, and I don't really eat it as much. But I eat vegetables. I don't eat rice, and I don't eat pasta. I gave up bread. I want to say I gave up bread last November. So I
Wow.
haven't, yeah, I haven't eaten bread. So I see myself becoming healthier and dropping pounds and stuff. And the first place I notice is my face and my neck.
Mm.
That's the first place I noticed. And I was like, okay, I'm doing something. I see it. And it's just me just getting back into the rhythm of working out. I'm like, oh, I hate it
What
because
is it that you think that stops you from getting into that rhythm? Like I'm thinking, trying to figure that out for myself.
yeah, I don't know. I think if when you haven't done something for so long, you like, I don't even know how I'm gonna start again. Like, how do I, get my feet wet again? Like, I haven't been able to skate in years, and I haven't. So, I take my daughter from time to time, and I be like, I know how to skate, but I haven't in so long. I don't know. I don't want to fall. I don't know how to get my groove. Like, I think that's how it is. So just don't know how to get your groove.
Shavonne, what advice?
Okay,
Go
I
ahead.
want I want to chime in real quick because my brain, I lose that train of thought. So a couple of things that you stated, I definitely want to encourage all mothers, expected mothers, something that you did that I did as well. First, when you first have your baby, breastfeeding is the best thing you can do to lose your weight. My doctor told me that a long time ago. So props to all the women that is currently doing that or will do that. Secondly, after you have your child and you've cleared your 6-week checkup, you should immediately go back into working out, like doing small things, that's swimming, that's walking, that's taking a baby for a walk, whatever the case may be. The time from when you have your 6-week checkup to maybe 3 or 6 months after, that is the most crucial part of you dropping that baby fat that you can ever experience. And just a quick story, really quickly. I was pregnant with my daughter 9 months before I had to be in the wedding. I was a part of the bridesmaids, and I could not get fitted for the dress. And I told the lady to make a 8. At that time, I was a 16, believe it or not. But that was all pregnancy weight, every single bit of it. And I remember how big my clothes were fitting me. And I told her to make an 8, and I was determined to be in the 8 by the time May came. So from October to May, that's all I did. I think I sent myself back into a relapse because literally I felt my whole body just draining. I was working out, I was subbing my food, I was exercising, I was doing everything I possibly can to be determined. So to go back to another question that you said, how do you start back up? You start with small steps. Just like you wanted to go skating with your daughter, or you knew that you can skate, you know you have worked out before, you step out on the ring, you tie the skates up, you put the skates on first, and you rub your feet across the floor to see, make sure you got a good feel of it. And then you get up and you balance yourself. And then after you balance yourself, you skate across the rug a little bit, and then you say, okay, I'm gonna hold on. And you go around one time holding on, and eventually you get back to the point where you say, okay, I got this, I can let go and I can go. Move that over to the gym. You may not go into the gym sprinting and running people over at 9.0 RPMs, or seeing people do this drastic thing, because that's what discourages Benita so much. She see people in there running, people could keep up with the Zoom exercise, and she out of breath. That's fine, because what you're doing today is what you didn't do yesterday. So yesterday you was on the couch looking at everybody. Yesterday you was on the couch chilling. Today is a new day that you actually made the effort to get in the gym to actually start. So no matter what it is that you do, you go at your own pace, you go at your own speed, and you just go. But the fact that when we sit and we say to ourselves, I want to do this, I know I can do this, I'm going to try to do this, and you don't do nothing about it, that's just like saying words without actions is dead. So we have to stop speaking about what we want to do, and put it into a form and put it into action, so we can start seeing results. And when I say start seeing results, you're not going to see that, of course, to all the viewers in 1 or 2 days from going to the gym. Going to the gym to me is consistency and dedication. Just like it didn't take you 1 or 2 days to get that weight on you, it took you some years. It's going to take you just as long to get that weight back off of you. So you have to dedicate just as much time, but you have to be consistent with everything. So I'm gonna pause there because I can go. And what I actually want to go with as well too is just a little small thing that you said earlier, T, about your food and your eating habits or whatever. So we all have different eating habits. Benita will tell you, I got her to watch What the Health. If anybody watching, go watch it. I encourage you to do so. I'm getting to that level, but she transformed her life. I wanted to transform my life as well, but it just didn't happen that way. But I don't eat pork. I don't eat beef because I ate it so much growing up. It kills my stomach now. However, I still do eat chicken, and I eat turkey products. And I eat, of course, seafood. But that's not what I'm about to say. What I'm about to say is that even though we can give up all the meat in the world, if we eat and sitting back eating all this acidic food, all these chemicals and preservatives or whatever, that is the thing that doesn't normally work with our body, because it's sitting on a shelf for God knows how many years and how long, and then we're putting that in our body, which is really hard for our body to break that chemical down. So we're not paying attention. If we're not paying attention to what we're putting in our body, such as the ingredients on the back of the box, then it's going to hinder us. It's going to hurt us more so than help us. And yet alone all the sugary products that we eat each and every day. So yeah, granted that you can give up the bread, granted that you can give up all the meats. If you're still eating the candy bars, drinking the soda, drinking the high-end sugars, and eating pastas from the box, rice from the box, you're defeating the whole purpose of trying to change. So I'm going to stop there because she's signed off and I think she needs to come back on. But you go ahead, Benita.
So I guess where I kind of get discouraged is that it just seems extremely overwhelming on what you should do, what you shouldn't do, what you should eat, what you shouldn't eat, how you should start here and how you should start there. It becomes extremely overwhelming it's a lot of information for someone who is just trying to start. And for me, what happens when I go to the doctor on my paperwork, one of my diagnoses and one of my you know how you have the my charts now and you go online and you can see everything that's wrong with you. One of mine says severely obese. And to me, I think that that's disrespectful to put on somebody's medical records. And when you see that in writing, it becomes a little discouraging. And another thing that bothers me is that for me, I don't have high blood pressure. I don't have high cholesterol. I don't have hypertension, which are the things that they say when you're obese are the bigger triggers. Now, I do have other medical issues that are not related to my weight. However, whenever I say certain things, they always attribute it to my weight. And what bothers me about that is when I was, believe it or not, when I was a size 5 and I was complaining of being fatigued and all this other stuff, and again, my labs came out normal, they were telling me that I was depressed. So, but it all came out that I had an autoimmune disease or an autoimmune syndrome on why I was feeling that way. So when you're thin and you're complaining about certain things, they tell you you're depressed, but then when you're obese, everything goes back to your weight. And I feel like everything is not attributed to your weight, because there are people who are extremely healthy that have a lot of those issues as well. And it just becomes very discouraging when people will look at you and they'll say, well, go ahead, exercise and work out. It just looks, would you say that to me if I was a size 10 or a size 8? Or are you saying that to me because I'm larger? That
So answer. Okay, I understand and respect that it could bother you, but just like your pastor don't know everything, your doctors don't know everything. So you have to take everything that you hear. I mean, because people are going to give you different information every single time and relate it to different sources. Like when you were smaller, they didn't take the necessary blood that they needed to take to see if there was any underlying issues or whatever, because they made an assumption. So when you're bigger, now they're switching it around because you're more healthier or whatever the case may be. So I would take everything that you hear with a grain of salt. So for me, and when I hear you speak about that, like you don't have any high blood pressures, hypertension, and all of that other stuff that you mentioned, what my concern is for you is that you say that you don't have it, which is perfect right now. But if we keep going down the same path that we go down, that's not to say that you won't have it in the future. So my whole thing is transformation. Transformation starts with you taking small steps and understanding that, it seems like a whole lot. You shouldn't eat this, you shouldn't eat that, or whatever. And you need to work out this many days, that many days. Yes, that can be a whole lot of information for one person. And that can too be discouraging. So my approach is that even if you got all that information, take some small steps with that. If say for instance you love eating Twix bars, maybe you don't eat a Twix bar, unacceptable. But I get back to that off the show, okay? Maybe you don't eat it. Maybe you don't have the Twix bar while you're doing the live broadcast up on the desk with you. Maybe you say, "I'll eat a Twix. I'll show myself, show and approve. Like give yourself a reward. If I go out here and I walk and I get X amount of steps every single day, I can reward myself and give myself a Twix bar on this day. But to have it every single day, no. You already know that's not good for you. You already know that sugar is not good for you. So why would you keep telling yourself too that you're going to keep eating it every single day? So taking small steps and taking little things at a time will help you will help you feel better overall. Like for my example was when I gave up Pepsi's, when I gave up pork, when I gave up beef, those things, when I started giving up certain things, and like when I do my fast and I give up my sweet tea, which I'm addicted to, or when I give up my bread, like just taking small things out of what I love, taking those small things and putting them to the side will help you move, at least get to moving. And as far as working out, like I keep telling you, even though I'm encouraging you to get on the Zoom, you don't have to rock with everybody on a Zoom, Benita. As long as you move and you're doing something again better than you did yesterday. So consistency
When
again.
you have, I agree.
So that's
Now,
I
this is here for a reason. This is here for a reason. The
that's
reason
what your mind
is
say.
no. No, this was here for a reason. This was here to make a point. But back to the Zoom. So one of the things that I have is that, I'm pretty open about my traumas, anything that I have gone through, I'm willing to share that if it will help shed light or help another female be able to come into their own and understand that they're not alone. I'm completely open with that. As far as me working out and being gassed out, I'm very self-conscious about that, especially when a lot of the other people that are working can do the stuff and look in perception in a lot better shape. That is extremely discouraging for someone who is starting out and that is very self-conscious about my abilities and being able to work out. So when things like that happens, that triggers a whole nother emotional thing that I have going on about me being self-conscious, about me not being able to do it. How did I allow myself to get this far out of shape? That just strikes a whole bunch of other issues and insecurities on why it's very challenging to move forward with doing things like on the Zoom or in public or with people who seem to be healthier or, you know, not with a lot of people in the room that look like me. That's just like someone who's, you know, going through things emotionally. They don't feel comfortable opening up around a bunch of people who seem to have it all together. It's the same concept for me. I'm just completely insecure about that. Is a huge insecurity about me working out and showing that part of my vulnerability to other individuals.
So here it is, Shavonne, interjecting and going and asking you a question now. So what part of your insecurity, even you, T, you can answer as well. What part of any insecurities you may have that prevent, you already named yours, Benita, but prevents you, why does the insecurity prevent you from trying? Not actually completing the whole thing, but just at least from trying to try to do it. Like, if you continue to allow your insecurities to win, then you do not succeed, because you're saying in your head and you saying in your mind that these people look this way, these people can handle it, and you're allowing you to talk yourself down from actually just doing it, just starting. You're allowing yourself to do that. So the biggest enemy and the biggest threat you have inside of you is you. So if you stop talking yourself down off of the scope to doing the ladder to doing better and reaching greater success, then you'll be in a much better place. But because you keep doing it to yourself every single time, it does not help you.
But what about if you do it within a space that you're comfortable so that those insecurities don't play out? Maybe the environment is not set up for me to be successful.
Okay, that's a different approach. And yes, you can definitely do it. But the question is, are you doing it? And that's a question for you.
I'm not doing it.
Okay, so that's an honest question.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, being honest and being transparent. Because we don't need to get on here and be fake. If you can say that you can't do it in front of a class, but yet you can do it at your home, then do it. It's nothing wrong. Like, I don't care if you work out with me, Billy Blanks, this John Dick and Doe. I don't care who you work out with. You can work out by yourself, but at the end of the day, you gotta get up and you gotta move. And I tell you too, Benita, even in our group meet, post up on your results. You're not with nobody. Go take a walk. Anything to get your body moving. So again, you're defeating yourself by keep telling yourself that you can't do something. It's not the environment. And it may be the environment, but it's not all.
It is the environment. I don't feel comfortable in the environment.
Because if it was just the environment, Benita, what stops you from doing it in your own space? That's the real.
I'm not saying that that's the only thing. I'm saying that that is a part of it. I am extremely insecure about the things that I can. I'm not confident in certain moves. I'm not confident in the balance. I'm just not confident in a lot of the things that's going on. And for me, that's discouraging. And then when you consistently do it and you don't see any results, it's like, do it for what? I'm not, if nothing is changing, so why not eat a Twix bar? If it ain't going to change, why not just continue to do what you're doing? I have not gotten past the 10-pound mark. I have given up the meat. I've done workouts. I've done it, but I cannot get past the 10-pound mark. Once I get to 10 pounds, it stops. And that's discouraging. You tell me to give up everything that I like to eat, everything that I like, and I'm still fat. So what is the point? Maybe God made me fat and that's what I'm supposed to be.
So, the devil is a liar. First of all, God made you a size 5. You said that in the very beginning of your interview. So you need to go ahead and take that back. However, you're
I
making
do not want to
yourself
get
this.
fat. I would
But you
look.
were. So God didn't make you fat. God didn't make you. You got yourself by your own choices. So these are your choices that you are making, and you're still choosing not to do better. You're still making that choice for yourself. So in order for you, it's to me, working out, losing weight, dieting, all of that. It's a mindset. Like if you keep telling yourself over and over, and you keep speaking that death into your life, like I can't do it. What's the purpose? I'm not gonna get past 10 pounds, and all this extra energy that you are not speaking life into you, then you won't. Point blank, plain and simple, because you told yourself you're not. But if you tell yourself, I'm gonna keep trying, I'm gonna go harder, I'm gonna do something different, I'm gonna give up this, I'm gonna speak all kind of positivity into my life, then you will. Everybody around you is speaking for you to get better, to do better. So why won't you? So the whole thing is not everybody else and everything else. The whole thing is you. And that's for any viewer that's looking at me. Like you have to start doing it for yourself. You have to want it for yourself more than anything. I look at life just as much as we eat every single day without complaint. We got a fork, we got the drink, we pulling it back without complaint, without thinking about it twice. But yeah, when it's time for us to work out, we could pull everything in our body, but we don't want to put nothing. We don't want our bodies to experience what it feel like to get that stuff off within us. We don't want to experience the effort and the movement that it takes to actually push forward. We don't want to go through that experience. We want everything easy, and everything in life ain't easy.
So Tiara, what would stop you from
Yes, ma'am.
what would stop you from working out? What do you think your biggest hindrances are from just starting?
Oh, it froze.
Oh, I'm frozen? Hello?
Am I froze? Can you see me, Shavonne? Okay.
I can see you. You
Okay,
fine.
I
I
can
had
see
to put my
beneath. There she
glasses
go.
on. My eyes.
Okay.
Oh, okay. What would stop you from working out? Like what stops you? What is your hindrance?
I think for me it's time. Time. Like before this quarantine, it was time for me. I would be like, oh, I go to bed late. I wake up early at a certain time so I can get me and Jatara out the house. Then I come home, and after doing my 9 to 5 job, I do my businesses and stuff. So it's for me, it's time. But I did say I need to make a schedule and see if I can work out before, like maybe waking up 30 minutes before I normally do, or even an hour and getting it in then, or in between me doing something in my business and cooking, like, or maybe if I'm watching like a show. But I did notice that they had something down the street from my house. They built this new thing, Muriel Bowser did. So I think I'm going to try that. But for me, it's time. Honestly, it's just finding the time.
I'm so glad you touched on that. Benita, you're asking a lot of great questions because you're making me think more and more. So when people say time to me, I have, well, they all don't live with me, but I have a total of 8 kids. 7 are in this, no, how many in this house right now? 6 in this house right now, I believe. 6 in this house right now. No, 7, 6 in the house right now. Okay, 6 in the house right now. And I'm not saying all of this to toot my own horn. I'm saying all of this to say that we make time for the things that we want to do. I also am an actress. I'm also a full-time worker as well. I'm an investment owner with my own properties. So I have to deal with tenants, and I have to deal with my parents and their situations that goes on. Now, everybody has a lot on their plate. Everybody has a lot that they have to do. But a lot of people say, Shavonne, I don't even know how it's possible for you to even get a workout in with everything that you have on your plate. Because for me, what scares me the most is seeing people go through stuff. I've seen my grandmother legs get cut off. I don't see my grandmother get gangrene. My mother got high blood pressure, 2 artificial hips, cancer. My father have sugar diabetes. The list goes on and on. For me, you show me something, and I say to myself, I don't want to go through that. So whatever I can do that's in my control that I can do, I'm going to try my best to do it, and that's what I do. So I make the time. I put the time. It's a part of my lifestyle. So when you say I don't have, and I'm not coming at you, but when people say I don't have time, that's because it's not a part of your lifestyle yet. So you have to make it a part of your lifestyle. Small steps. 30 minutes, like you said, in the morning, maybe at lunchtime or in the evening. You could be dog tired. But at the end of the day, you have to tell yourself, and this is what I tell myself, Will, I'm not saying you have to, but this is what I tell myself. I have to get in the gym just like I brush my teeth. It's important to me. I want to have good, fresh breath. I want to have a good working body. Because for me, when I get older in my 80s and my 90s, I want to still grind. I want to still walk around, perhaps drive a car, but probably don't want to. But I want to still be able. And I don't want to be defined to any deficiencies within my body because I made bad choices all these years and I could have controlled them. And I also could have worked out as well. Like, I don't want to be at a place where people picking me up and having that. Now, God forbid, if something tragic happens to me, then so be it. But at least the inside of my body, I'm capable. You know what I'm saying? I'm capable of restoring, and maybe I won't. But at the end of the day, I know that I put my efforts in and I tried. So when we don't try to put that time aside so that we can work out, it hinders us. It goes back to what Benita is saying too, about the fact of how, she feel discouraged about certain other things as far as the environment and emotional disturbance. Your time is yours or whatever. But those are all things that we're saying to ourselves that prevents us from going forward, that gives us that extra step so that we can actually move forward. So now the question is, how do we change that thought process? How do we go forward with making time, with looking at the environment and saying, okay, I can do this environment, or if I can't do the environment, doing your own environment work. You can do this lady I used to know at HSBC, she told me every day, I was not, I'm heterosexual, but I was amazed that her boobs was sticking straight up, and she was like 60 years old, and she ain't had no boob job. So she told me every single day in the shower, she used to do this, squeeze her boobs every single day, 100 times in a shower. I haven't done it yet. My boobs just sagging because I had all my kids. But anyway, I was just amazed at just her effort and what space she had to make time to make herself feel better, because her boobs was her attraction. So therefore, she did what she had to do to make sure that her boobs are good to her. So that's what I'm saying to everybody. We have to do what we have to do to make our bodies, to make our mind feel good to what we want it to feel good to. Now that you're comfortable with where you are, then this conversation is just not for you. But if you want to change and you want to do better, then you start. You start with small steps. Benita.
That's awesome. I'm gonna start. I'm definitely gonna start. And I wrote the Zoom video, the Zoom number
I will
information
send
down.
you the link, Tiara.
Yes, please. Please.
And I'll be more
I
than
bought a
happy.
waist trainer.
Do we follow each other on I know I just friend requested you on Instagram, but on Facebook I would love to make sure we are connected so that you can see when I post as well.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yes, because I can get in the zone to work out. Once I get my groove back, then I'll be ready.
Once
Now,
I get the groove, I can be committed. It's just getting back to that groove and getting back. And then it makes it harder that, we're like stuck in the house. So
I will say that I had some feedback from me because again I'm not a trainer, so I take feedback from everybody because I think that's important for us to be able to get feedback and to grow from it or whatever. So some of the feedback that I got just by me participating in Willie doing this Zoom was, I like to go. Meaning I can go. You can get a good hour out of me, or maybe an hour and a half, but I wasn't being considerate of the audience. So my son, who was in the Army, he was like, Mom, Shawty, you gotta slow down. I was like, I'm going too fast. He was like, yes. Then I asked somebody else and she said the same thing. So I looked around at some videos and it was like, give a 10-second break, a 15-second break, let people regroup. So those things help. So I said all that to say that everybody has an opportunity to learn and to grow. So we can all learn and we can all grow together. And that's the whole purpose of For the People to Be Fit. I'm not no genius. Like I said, I'm not no trainer. I'm not no nutritionist, but I am someone who loves to motivate and encourage people. And I want to see everybody win. Period. At the end of the day, if we can all have a transformation, like Benita has her insecurities about certain things, we all have insecurities. I have my own insecurities. I don't care if people be like, oh, you a stick or you this. No, I still have things that I want to work on as well, because I know if I do bad, those things can come right back to me. So it's up to me to make sure I maintain or to try to get it better. And I don't want to be out here fronting, asking other people, telling other people to do other stuff, and then here I am not willing to at least try every single day. Because I ain't saying I'm perfect, but I do try every single day. So right now, I'm giving up carbs, and I really want some carbs. However, but I said all that to say, thank you for sending it, T. I said all that to say.
You didn't change her name. Her name is Tiara.
I know her name, Tiara. I'm just calling
it. No, it's okay. Everybody call me T.
Can she get herself together? She already know I got problems with my Invisalign when I say people's names, and I ain't trying to shock you. So I spit out my mouth and everything. Don't come to me on the Zoom, Benita.
Corona.
Anyway, well, the live broadcast. But anyway, I said all to say that's the whole purpose of For the People to Be Fit, for us to encourage each other. So it doesn't matter who you with or who you doing the workout with, just get the working out.
So I believe that there are individuals out there who are stalled, like myself, and whatever insecurities you have that, kind of, beat you down and make you feel like you can't do it. I think that what we have to do is kind of dig a little deeper to figure out, where those insecurities are coming from. And I have been walking, clean the garage up a little bit. I am becoming more active. I was not as active, but I am trying to get back into the groove of being more active, doing a lot more walking. But I will say that it is challenging to get back into the groove once you stop. And I guess my biggest challenge is figuring out how to make it a lifestyle change. Like, I'm capable of doing it because, I decided to give up meat and I did it without a problem. I think this is now year 2 where I watched that What the Health that I was bullied into watching. And then I did what was supposed to be done when I watched it, and they're still eating chicken. But, that's a whole nother situation. I decided that I was going to cut my hair, and I committed to that for a year. So I'm capable of committing, but there is obviously something within me that I have to figure out why I cannot commit to working out and getting healthy. And the reason I have this Twix bar is because this is my go-to emotionally, for anxiety, for if I'm feeling some type of way, if I feel like emotionally it's like too much. This has been my vice. This has been my heroin. This has been my crack. This has been whatever you want to call it. This has been my emotional crutch. I don't know how that happened, but it's like I feel like if I am emotionally torn and I don't have it, I feel out of sorts. But if it's here and I know that it's here and I feel some type of way or whatever, it helps me know that I can get through whatever it wants. I don't know how this became so I guess what so important to my emotional stability, but it is. And it could be for somebody else. It could be shopping. It could be sodas. It could be anything, but just so happens that this is my emotional crutch. And eventually I will figure out and I will work through, because I'm definitely committed to becoming my mental health. I am definitely committed to that. And I believe that by me being committed to the mental part and being clear, that it will help me with the physical. I do believe that it's all connected, and I'm definitely I'm working on it. And that's a lot further than I was probably a year ago. Owning the fact that, yeah, you got some stuff that you need to get straight, and that's where I am. Tiara, what do you think?
Yes,
Like,
that definitely the honest truth. I think for me, I have some things I can um go back to if I'm feeling some type of way. Like if I go through my cycle, I'll go and get chocolate, and I'll go and get like cookies and cream, ice cream, and just little stuff like that. I'll go in the store and I'll get Doritos from 7-Eleven, and then I'll go in the back where they have the cheese for your hot dog, and I'll put cheese in my Doritos. I got that from when I was pregnant with Jatara, and it's just stuck with me. But I don't do it all the time. But sometimes when I'm just in one of those moods, I'll get it. I'll go and I'll get that. I'll get a Sprite, and I'll get the 4-pack Reese cups. And I'm like, you know what? I'm on my period. I'm not even thinking about counting no calories. I'm not thinking about none of that stuff. I want to eat this stuff and I want to wallow for this second. I'll get back to my schedule, but for now, let me just eat this and enjoy it. So
and I think the reason I brought this out was because I think the hardest part is identifying that it's a crutch. And I have identified that this is an issue. It is a crutch. And I understand that and I know it. It's just the fact of maybe if everybody could identify your crutch, and once you identify a problem, then it's easier to come up with a solution. I'm at the point in my life where I've identified that the candies, the sugars, those things are not necessarily that I'm eating them for necessarily enjoyment. I'm eating it for anxiety. This is the purely to calm anxiety that I really didn't realize I had. So knowing the problem will help me be able to solve the problem and find a solution. And I'm encouraging everybody else to figure out what your problem is and what your issue is so that you can kind of help yourself be able to get to the next level. And we're like 3 minutes out. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Shavonne, for being a guest. Thank you, Tiara. Yes. This was definitely a great conversation. I'd like to level it up the next time we do this and kind of talk about the emotional connections with food, maybe have somebody else on here to talk to us about it and how we can move past it. Because this is definitely a problem for me. I'm very aware that it's a problem, but it is definitely an emotional crutch for me. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. You can follow me at Benita Spinner, CEO on Instagram and Facebook. Tiara?
Yes. So again, guys, Facebook, Tiara Johnson, TIARA, last name Johnson. I am _ Tiara J on Instagram, Twitter at the Tiara J brand, and partner with Tiara J at gmail.com. And I think one of my crutches is I love helping people. So that's why I do the thing that I do. And that's why I'm in the business of helping, available, and assisting people with stuff. So that's another whole nother topic.
Thank you again for being our guest, and thank you for being a sponsor of the show. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome, Tiara. I don't know which one of y'all mic is giving off a lot of static on my end.
No,
I want to say thank y'all for having me on the show as well and speaking to both of y'all. And I pray and hope that y'all have a change mindset and a change thought process about how you want to move forward, as well as the viewers too. You can follow me on IG as well as Facebook. For the People to Be Fit is listed on the screen. The number 4, the people, the number 2, the initial B, and fit. Also, I'm starting an apparel line, and it's not this particular apparel line that I'm starting is to motivate people. It's for people to be fit, period. No matter if you're a petite size or if you're obese, whatever the case may be, we want to have sizes for all people, and we would love for you to be a part of the movement to inspire somebody else to get fit. That's the whole process, the whole purpose of why I'm doing everything. But I did want to say something. I see we got like a couple of more minutes about.
We have 1 minute, like 30 seconds.
So I'll make it quick. Tiara, that's a true statement. When you're on your menstrual cycle, you do crave. I am not exempt from that. I crave my chocolate, my chip cookies, as well as my brownies. So we can always crave it. We can have it here and there, but we also got to do something with it. Meaning that, like you said, you get back on your schedule. So if you're doing that, make sure you jump back on your schedule to get busy, y'all, for the people to be fit.
Thank you, guys. See you next week.
Bye-bye.